Well, we're getting closer and closer to the big day of July 22nd through the 24th for the Kiss Country North Iowa Tractor Ride, which is presented by Claperick Farm Systems. And of course, you have many other sponsors on this as well, and Corporate Farmers, one of them. And Chad, good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. So let me ask you this. You a farm boy or a city boy?
Well, I guess it kind of depends on how you look at it. You know, I grew up in town and stuff, but had plenty of family and friends that were farmers and stuff. So I had my fair share of baling hay and all that kind of fun stuff. Did a little Rogan, if you even know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Detasseling, you know, all the hard work, picking rock.
Yeah.
I never got to enjoy the good times of sitting in a tractor cab that was air conditioned and GPS and live the good life. I grew up the hard way, I guess.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, we thought that was the good life, just reading an air conditioned tractor.
Yeah.
Now look what they're doing. They don't even drive their tractors or combines.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. These 90 and 100-degree days wouldn't be a whole lot of fun back then, but yeah, you don't worry about that so much today.
Yeah. And then if you go back even further before our time, they, no cabs, smaller tractors, going 2-row. You imagine doing like a 2-row planting, 4-row planting.
That's what the tractor ride's all about, right? Getting out those old ones and reliving some of those fun times.
And that's the cool thing about the have you been on the tractor ride before, Chad?
Yes, and it's always enjoyable, and it's great to see some of those older tractors, and especially, I mean, some of them are in better shape than they were when they came off the assembly line. Maybe a little souped up and fun things like that, and yeah, just kind of talking to some of the guys, listening to them tell stories about, where the origins, probably dads or grandpas or whatever's tractor that, they've had in the family for their whole life and everything. And so, some of those fun things that you listen to and like to enjoy as part of the whole tractor ride experience.
Yeah. And sometimes I know some of the tractors that just from talk, it's like a big family reunion getting caught up and everything. But some of the tractors, maybe dad or grandpa sold it years ago, and then the son or grandson found it, and it was in a grove somewhere or somebody's machine shed not being used, and they bought it back and they've restored it, and now they're using it, and it looks beautiful. And I mean, it's really cool on the tractor ride. Since you've been on there, you know exactly what it's like, and of course share with everybody else that that's what it is.
And I mean, even here in our office alone, Ben, that goes on the tractor ride, he's got a tractor that was my wife's uncle's tractor that they bought at an auction. And, so when I found out that was the origins of it and stuff, I shared those stories with my wife, and she thought that was pretty cool. So, we've got some of those little kind of stories here just in our office alone.
Yeah, those are great stories that you hear on the Kiss Country North Iowa Tractor Ride. So besides the tractor ride, or why would the tractor ride, would Corporate Farmer be a part of this year after year?
Yeah, I think that obviously there's a great connection there with ag and, just kind of keeping the history going. And I think that's really what, the tractor ride in a lot of ways is about, is those older tractors that, people care enough about them that they want to keep them running, keep them in great shape. When you get together, brag about them a little bit. And, for us, it's keeping that kind of history of where we came from and where, the roots are in North Central Iowa. And then, I mean, gosh, getting out with a great bunch of people, like you said, just enjoying that social side of things, and then getting to see the countryside around here. I mean, beautiful areas, checking crops, all those things that are part of, agriculture and growing up in this area. Heck, I call my in-laws every once in a while and, get a chuckle when they say, "What are you up to?" And they're out checking crops. That's just kind of a way of life around here. So, being able to get out there at about 10, 20 miles an hour and look at the crops and see how everything's going, that's what a tractor ride's all about.
Yeah, exactly. Or a Sunday morning in the car with the family. Yeah.
Yeah. or a Friday night. There's nothing else to do when you're sitting here with the pandemic and all that stuff. At least it's safe to jump in the vehicle with your spouse and just cruise around the gravel roads. So that's entertainment. When you ain't got anything else to do.
Exactly. Yep. We're going to check the crop there, honey. Trust me, I've done that many, many times.
Hey, now we don't want to hear any of those stories.
It's so for people, Chad, that don't know. I mean, obviously, you're a corporate farmer. Okay, that has something to do with ag. Tell people that don't know, what is corporate farmer?
Yeah, the real simple answer is we're an accounting firm for farmers. That's the simple answer. I think kind of the bigger answer to that is that we kind of look at ourselves as more of like a CFO, for our farm clients. And that means, doing the accounting and those kind of monthly kind of tedious things that you probably hate doing. But on top of that, it's just providing some financial guidance to help you, evaluate your farm, make kind of decisions going forward that affect, the viability and the ability to, pass that farm on to the next generation, all those things that I think are just super important, to those farmers out there and their families. And this is kind of the lifeblood of, our communities around north central Iowa.
Yeah, because, I mean, it gets into kind of like, you mentioned, keep it in the family.
Yeah.
There's ways of doing that before, because you get taxed on certain things, tax and things like that. It's better maybe to I don't want to try and sit here and give financial advice on air, but I mean, I'm just trying to soak it all in. Maybe it's better to sell off part of it to the son or daughter or whoever now,
right?
Taxed on it, or if dad's real generous, maybe just give it to you.
There you go. That sounds great, don't it? But I mean, all of those things are true, and it's not a one size fits all, and I think that is part of why you need somebody. If it was easy, you wouldn't need a professional to help you through it. And so kind of looking at your situation, helping you figure out what makes sense for you, for mom and dad, for the son or daughter, and then kind of navigating, like you say, through like some of the challenges, like what happens in Washington. Those,
right.
They don't like to keep things the same. They like to pass laws. I guess that's why they get elected, is to pass laws and make our lives difficult. And so that's why you need somebody like Corporate Farmer is to stay on top of that and help you understand how it affects your situation and, point you in the right direction from time to time.
Yeah. Now, Chad, is there a spot that how does maybe a new farmer doesn't know the information? Maybe the families but use somebody else or whatever. But maybe they're looking to do something different. How do they get a hold of you, or what's the step that they got to do to get?
We're pretty simple to get along with, and we make it as easy as possible. And the best thing is just to give us a call, 800-472-6931. We've got some information online at corporatefarmer.com. You can like us on Facebook, and just kind of get some updates that way that we put out there, so there's plenty of information. That first, kind of meeting, we never bill for anything like that. So it's a great opportunity to see if that's the right fit for you and whether we can provide the needs that you have for you and your farming situation.
Well, excellent. Well, Chad, we thank you and the entire office for being a sponsor of the Kiss Country North Iowa Tractor Ride and being a part of it year after year, and look forward to having you back on the ride again this year.
Yep. Looking forward to seeing you and having a little bit of fun.
Yeah. We'll do some crop checking.
There we go.
Chad, have yourself a wonderful day. All right.
You too. Thank you very much.
You bet.